What's the most important thing?
Date.
A date. Get the date on the calendar the night you book the show, because if they walk out with your purse or the bracelet or whatever else you're giving them to book, and you don't have a date, 80% chance you won't have that date ever. You're going to be calling them for months, and they'll be the ones that pick up and then hang up. Okay. Quick little tips to get the dates on the calendar. Have your Hostess packets ready at checkout. These have to be made up, ready to go. So I always have at least 5 with me, because 5 bookings at a show is a great night. So just have them made up, ready to go. Doesn't matter what you put inside. You can use the Premier Hostess envelopes. Right now, I don't know if you guys saw these online, because the Hostess envelopes are not updated to those $50 gift cards. They put this sheet on there. I love this sheet. I don't think I'm ever gonna let this sheet go now. But it's basically the front side of the Hostess envelope with all of the updates. So you can use this too. So inside my envelopes, I just put, I've been doing this one, and then just the information about what they're going to receive for free and the benefits of being a jeweler. And then 2 catalogs and order forms. I got this idea from Carrie. To show them how easy it is to collect those $100 in orders, put 5 together. Obviously they'll get a lot more if they get all 5 filled out. Paper clip it together, and you can even give them the gift card at the same time, so when your host is coaching them, you can say, get these 5 things filled out, you got your gift card all set, this is your date, and you're good to go. So that was an awesome idea.
It's
I love
concrete,
it.
and I got it from a pampered chef girl.
I love it. Still it, I'm using it, and it's working. So then when you're at checkout, the most important thing, when you're tallying them out, you have to hang on to their receipt while you're talking. If you total them out, you hand over that receipt, conversation's over, they can walk away. As long as you have the receipt in your hand, you are in control of the conversation. So you can, not that you're going like this and hiding it, but you're kind of just talking while you're adding up, talking, and kind of, you know what I mean?
Totally what I've been doing wrong.
Don't hold it over.
Totally.
Once you hand it over, conversations in their court, usually it's done.
You can even have it all added up on your calculator, just don't.
But don't write
down
it in,
yet.
don't put your
Yeah.
stamp on there with your information. You can even rip it off, just don't hand it over. That's it. But have your calendar ready. I just have my little hostess information. I'm not prepared. Sorry. I have my hostess information card, so when I'm doing their receipt, I'm saying, well, I totaled out this, can you just fill your information out for me? So we're both working at the same time. Then they're handing this back to me. I'm still hanging on to their receipt, and I'll say, for your show, you have an option of whatever invite you want me to use for you. You don't have to do this part. But I say, okay.
Binder now?
I do. My life was getting too chaotic. So I'll say, you have the option of whatever invite you want me to use. Which one would you like me to use for your show? So they're flipping through this, picking out which theme they want to go for, and I'll write that on their information card. I'll say, great, well, this are the dates that I have open for you. So right now, like in the month, I'm looking into October, November. So I've got one more date left that I want to fill for October, so I would take this sheet out first and say, this is what I have for October, if that works for you. And then if they're like, no, I can't do October, if we do November, then I'll pull out my November and say, okay, these are the dates I have open, which one would you like? So they're seeing my free dates that I have available. They can pick what they want. We'll write it on their information sheet, and then I'll say, all right, well, here's your hostess packet. I'll get their information filled out, and then I'll quickly go through what's inside. They got their catalogs, their order forms. So it's a quick hostess coach, just so they're excited leaving with something in their hand. Plus, I don't like to mail these because they're like $5 to mail. If they're sitting in front of me, let them take it, because they can start, just because their show's in November, they can start getting orders right now. Still counts towards them. It's still a great show. So whatever, if you don't hand them out at the show, I would say save yourself some money and do it. But at least let them leave with something in hand, because they're booking the show now. They're the most excited they're going to get, other than the night of their show. So have them leave with something. So when they say, like, you'll have a lot of people say, well, I don't have my calendar with me. I don't know what date I have open. I say, no problem. What day is usually the least hectic for you? They know what day. Usually it's like Wednesday. They'll yell out a day. I'm like, okay, well, I have this Wednesday, which one looks better to you? And they're like, well, let's do that one. I said, we'll just pencil it in, and I will bring a pen, like I have a pencil with me. I said, we'll just pencil it in, let me know within the next 24 hours though if you can't keep that date, because if you can't, I'll still honor your bonus, and we'll just pick another date that works well for you. But if I don't have a date, I can't give the hostess credit, and I know you want to give Susie credit for your booking. Not one time have they ever not penciled in a date, because there's no pressure there. It's just, let's pencil it in. If you need to change it, that's fine, but I want to give the hostess credit for your booking. And we are not supposed to, if we don't have a booking, if there's no date, it's no booking. So if you think you got 3 bookings and you're giving the hostess credit for 3 bookings and you don't have dates, you've just jipped Premier because you really don't have 3 bookings.
Right.
So really make sure a booking is a date on your calendar for a show, and then you can honor that gift card for your hostess. Any questions with like closing out, getting the dates, anything like that? All right. Inside your jeweler handbook, you'll see a list of all of the booking objections. Make sure you guys know those inside and out, because you'll get the same thing over and over again. My house is too small, I don't know enough people, everyone I know is here. All those same kind of objections constantly come up. So as long as you're comfortable with what to say back to them, it makes it a lot easier to turn an objection into a booking, because all an objection is them trying to think through how they're going to do a show. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a very, very good thing. If they're objecting for some reason other than just saying no, they are wanting to do a show, they're just trying to figure out the logistics of how to do it, and they just need your help. Okay, so just make sure you guys are very comfortable with that stuff. Any other questions with anybody that has trained booking-wise that hasn't been answered, that you're kind of still curious or questioning? Yes?
What are some other people's phones that you've successfully had parties?
Coffee shops I love, People's Works.
They don't mind if you come into a Starbucks instead of a jewelry?
I'll add like a little table, so you'll get a little table. It's usually like a handful of girls, not gonna be 15 people at Starbucks. It's usually like 4 or 5 around a table. Everyone gets their own coffee, and I won't bring all my jewelry set up. It's pretty much gonna be like trays of jewelry in the middle of the table, and it's very conversational. So you're gonna change the style of your show based on where you are. Schools, now that school's starting up, it's amazing to do school shows right after the day ends. Teachers love it, and again, it's a quick show and usually really high retail. So.
The jeweler handbook doesn't come in the kits anymore.
We don't.
So
It's all online.
it's all online.
Yep. It's under jeweler resources, and then you can download it to your phone, your iPad, to your computer, but it's all, what's the word? Electronic.